everyone, it's time for another specky arcade conversion, and this one is Gunsmoke, published by Go in 1987, but this was initially published and developed by Topo Soft, which was a Spanish developer and also publisher, but for some reason it was called Desperado in Spain. Not entirely sure why, because this is a conversion of the Capcom arcade game that was released in I think 85, so not quite sure why they called it Desperado in Spain. Maybe it wasn't initially licensed. And as I said, this was based on Gunsmoke, published and developed by Capcom in 1985. And by the way, got to love this ROM star flyer for the game, where the gunslinger is actually inserting a coin in his revolver instead of a bullet. Pretty neat little detail. And the arcade game was designed by Yoshiki Okamoto, and apparently he was a fan of the Gunsmoke TV series, which I think ran for about 20 years since the 50s. I've never seen it myself, but 20 years for a TV series? That's pretty damn impressive. And he really wanted to make a Wild Western game. And apparently it was kind of tricky to develop this one, kind of hard to get it right. And apparently while Okamoto-san was developing Gunsmoke, Tokuro Fujiwara was developing Commando. And apparently the two teams helped each other out. So there's definitely some similarities between Commando and Gunsmoke. And in the game you control a character called Billy Bob, apparently a bounty hunter, that are going after several criminals in the Wild West. And at the end of each stage you get to have a gunfight with them. And Game Machine listed Gunsmoke in January 1986 as being the second most successful table arcade unit of the month, in Japan at least. And the game was also very well received in the rest of the world. And the thing with the arcade game was that you had 3 buttons to control how you fired. So you can shoot left, right, forward, double left and double right, I think. And also shoot at both left and right at the same time, depending on how you press the button. So that was a pretty cool mechanic. But sadly, I don't think they transferred that mechanic to the specky version. But hey, let's dive in. And the loading screen looks really nice, and it's based on the Spanish release of the game, where the cover artwork was made by Alfonso Aspiri. Yeah, we got some catchy music. I don't know if this is the music from the TV show or something like that. Something vaguely familiar about it. I don't know. Let me know if you recognize this. And here we have the menu screen, and that animation to the right, that looks really, really familiar. I can't quite place it. Is it like a Tex Avery animation, maybe? Because I swear I've seen that somewhere on TV or something. Very nicely done, anyway. Infinite lives? Well, why not? And this is really nice looking, this bad guy. I don't think he's from the arcade, though. They may have made up their own bad guys. For some reason, my joystick is not working. Okay, what is going on? Okay, we're going to have to go with keyboard because I can't get the Kempston joystick option to work. I think I got it to work like a couple of days ago, but for some reason, not anymore. And, oh yeah, this is a bit slow here. Did that thing really hit me? Alright then. Yeah, it looks pretty nice, this game, and I especially like the bad guys, the wanted posters. Sadly, they have indeed not converted the control method or the firing method of the arcade game. You just fire the direction where you are looking and walking. So that is... Oh no, I forgot about that. If you shoot the pickups, they will turn into dynamite and you die. And the controls are otherwise, I mean, somewhat decent. The problem seems to be that once there's a bunch of sprites on screen, everything slows down horrifically and the keyboard input response gets really, really bad. So it's a bit clunky, but it does look pretty nice. And I mean, it plays okay, I guess. Let's go and grab the star. Not sure what that does. Hopefully something incredible. And it's also a bit difficult seeing the bullets sometimes, especially my own bullets, because they are really rather fast. They just travel all over the shop here. Please go away. Don't follow me, you flipping stalker. And I hate how the enemies that come from behind, they just move towards, and then when you try and get them, they start moving away. Give me that, for God's sake. No. Ah, shit. No. Oh, God, yeah, the controls are pretty much what really kind of makes this one a bit tough. And please, grab. Does that power me up or something or give me my life back? Because in the arcade game, you pick stuff up. Here it was more like you stand on it and something happens. But, okay, that was tight. I expected to die there. But it's a real shame that they didn't try and do the multi-directional firing like in the arcade, because that was a pretty cool feature. I mean, maybe it would have been tricky. I don't know. Maybe the Spectrum keyboard wasn't suited for that. And it wouldn't work well with a joystick, that's for sure. Okay, let's see if we can go over here. Oh, you bastard. No, don't. Here we go. Let's see if we can stand on the star. Yeah, I can't pick it up. It just something seems to be happening, though. And visually, the game doesn't quite look like the arcade game, but it's not bad. It looks pretty nice. Gameplay does feel a little bit clunky, and sometimes the hit detection looks a little bit off as well. But pretty good use of color here as well. I mean, it's a desert, so it's very yellow, but they at least added some other colors, so that is neat. There's not too much color clash either. Can I go out here? No, I can't. I think that's a lake or something. I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to say. There doesn't seem to be any power-ups, though, which is a damn shame. Go away. Not sure if the enemies hurt me or if it's just their bullets. Oh, yeah, they seem to be hurting me. Yeah. And I gotta say, this is a very lengthy first stage compared to the arcade. And the arcade was pretty tricky, at least until I figured out that I could fire in different directions. Then it was a bit easier. Never played it before myself. Never came across Gunsmoke back in the day. I think I would have been into it. It was a fun arcade blast for a bit, at least. I didn't play it for very long. Yeah, I'm ready for my boss fight now. Please. It will be great. And I shot my star again, or maybe it's not my star. It's kind of weird how they are firing away from me. What are you firing at down there? There's nothing there, you silly man in a hat. And in the arcade, you could get a horse. That was pretty cool. Don't think you can get a horse here. That's a shame. And the main street of this town is absolutely insanely long. But I do believe this is a multi-load. So there's hopefully going to be new enemies and interesting boss fights, hopefully. If I can ever get to the boss fight, it seems to take like years and years. Oh, no enemies. That might mean that there's an upcoming boss fight. Oh, yes. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's a big guy. He's a very big guy. Could you please... here he comes again. What am I supposed to do with you? Shoot you in the face, I guess. Can he take damage from the bombs? Okay. And yeah, again, sometimes when there's too much going on screen, your fire button doesn't work. Just refuses to fire. You dead? You dead. Ooh, it's a dame. Don't recognize her from the arcade game either. It's more of the same here. More desert. I gotta say, I think I prefer Commando. I mean, Commando is... Is that a jumping spider? I think it's one of those rolling bushes, right? Yeah, I gotta say, Commando is full screen, and it plays a lot smoother, and it's a lot more fun. I prefer that for sure. This is a little bit repetitive and clunky. Can that thing hurt me? Oh yes, it's a prickly thing. Or maybe it is a jumping mental spider. This is a pretty boring looking level, I must say. Prefer the first one. It's much nicer. And all the enemies are stuck on the other side. That's unfortunate for them, right? Except this guy. But he's going to get stuck there, right? Oh no, he managed to figure it out. And the game is auto-scrolling as well, I should say. So I'm moving forward whether I want to or not. Okay, oh, here's something. Is that a well? No, it's something else. Oh, it's a train track. A tunnel, I see. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. Oh, there's 2 different paths there. Let's go on the tracks, because that is a terribly great idea, isn't it? Yeah, I wonder if this was always intended to be a official conversion of Gunsmoke, or maybe they just made a Gunsmoke near experience, and then the publisher Go decided, hey, let's get the license and change the name to Gunsmoke. Oh, new graphics, I believe. Ah, it's a train. This is probably what was loaded in, right? Because there's not too much new stuff here. Oh, you do get points for these if you shoot them. Interesting. But you need to shoot them kind of quickly or something? Ooh, a curved track. New graphics. I think it's time for the ginormous lady to make her appearance. Has she got small beady eyes as well? She's just kind of... Okay, she's lifting her skirts. I don't know what she's doing. And the slowdown is quite powerful. The boss fights are pretty underwhelming. Not terribly exciting. Oh, she got a slightly confused expression on her face. I think I got her. Ah, that's a nice looking face, but it looks quite familiar. Where have I seen that? They may have been inspired by something here. And it's more of the same. Oh, we do have new enemies. I think it's Indians, and they're pretty bulletproof. But yeah, I gotta say the gameplay is a little bit uninspiring here. I don't think I would have been terribly excited about this back in the day. It's just too repetitive, and the slowdown is really painful. Oh, it's just so slow. Even without any sprites, this just crawls along. Oh man, the slowdown, it is painful. Ugh. That horse is basically crapping out bullets. Maybe they fed him too much fiber? The game isn't super difficult. I mean, sure, I have infinite lives, but I haven't died many times. So it seems fairly simple, but also pretty damn repetitive. It's starting to get really boring. I think they should have made shorter stages. And there is supposed to be a Desperado 2 as well. I'm not sure if that is better. Maybe it is. Maybe they refined it a bit. And there's nothing happening here. Nothing. I'm not even touching any keys here. I don't have to. Look, it's even missing me. Oh, you can go out there. Or maybe it's just the Indians that have some sort of superpowers so they can walk in the water. Maybe I can do that too. No, I can't. I think it's bad guy time. Oh yeah, here he is. He's got bombs. We have explosives. Take that, you fiend. Oh, no, he can roll. I'm impressed. Must have been playing a lot of Dark Souls. Oh god, the slow motion is painful. Could you please just die? Oh, thank God. Oh yeah. I think there's a total of 5 stages. Oh, now I'm doing ice skating. That's interesting. Why aren't my legs moving? Oh, the crocodiles look pretty cool. At least we're getting some variation here. But yeah, I think I'm done with this. It's not a bad game. It's just a bit samey. It gets super repetitive, and it's also a bit too easy, I think. And there are certainly some annoyances with it. So I think I'm just going to call it quits and have a look at what some reviewers thought of the game. Your Sinclair wasn't terribly impressed and gave the game a total of 5 out of 10, and they wrote, all in all, what we have here is one little bit of a lame game, I'm afraid. Chumpkins, wibbly animation, dodgy sprites, jerky scrolling, camouflage bullets, and a giant cockroach. Isn't worth 9 quid. And they also wrote, Capcom coin-up that hasn't made too easy a transition to the specky. And yeah, I think I have to agree with this. This is a little bit disappointing, and it's interesting in the screenshot you actually have like a HUD to the right. I didn't have that in my game, but I think I had to dig up the Desperado one to get it to load on my real Spectrum. So maybe there is a slightly different version that was published by Go. Sinclair user was more impressed and gave the game 9 out of 10, and they wrote, "It's a tough game with the baddies outnumbering you several to one, and things crack along at a fair pace. But it's not a game that's anything out of the ordinary. It's a relatively good conversion of a relatively good coin-up. And that's it. Period. There's nothing to lift it up to the standard of the Cybernoids and Fireflies of this world." So it's kind of interesting that they still gave it 9 out of 10, but yeah, I think it's a little bit too much. I would probably think 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10 would be appropriate. It's a little bit too limited. But of course, maybe the Go version was different. I don't really know, but I couldn't get that to load on my real Spectrum. So with that, I'm going to say thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, and as always, hope to catch you next time. Cheers!